Even Śukadeva Gosvāmī said, I will try my best. Contemporary people. Egg shape and the flat earth. These are two different things that we must to understand. It's not a sphere or football ball, no. Because everything in the universe is fractal. Jai Shri Radhe-shyam and welcome. Vedic Cosmology, a concept that is no doubt a very tough one. From one side, we see Shastra that is claiming some ideas that in somehow are quite difficult to digest for contemporary people, devotees. We speak about concepts that are difficult to reach by our intelligence. Let's not forget that we are Kali Jivas, and by born in Kali Yuga, you have the basic structure of a Kali Yuga living entity. And we have been speaking quite a lot about that. I want to do reference to a few Shastra regardless to Vedic cosmology. But first, I want to read out loud this verse because the opinion of Swami Bhaktivedanta that we cannot reach the moon, the opinion of the ones who truly believe that NASA and the Hollywood circus, no, NASA reached the moon with the Apollo 11, the ones who believe that is absolutely correct. The ones who not believe and not approve the moon landing also is correct. Why? Because the Srimad Bhagavatam reads something that is quite revealing and important. Look. The great rishi Śukadeva Gosvāmī said, "My dear king, there is no limit to the expansions of the Supreme Personality of God, God's material energy. This material world is a transformation of the material qualities, sattva-guna, rājovāca, tamā-guna. Yet no one could possibly explain it perfectly, even in a lifetime as long as that of Brahma. In a lifetime as that of Brahma cannot explain it perfectly. No one in the material world is perfect. An imperfect person could not describe this material universe accurately, even after speculation. O king, I shall nevertheless try to explain to you the principal regions such as bhū-loka with their names, forms, measurements and various symptoms." In this very verse, Rishi Śukadeva Gosvāmī is revealing something huge. First of all, he said clearly, in this material world, nobody is perfect. So every opinion, commentaries and purport on Srimad Bhagavatam or on any text is an opinion and is valid as an opinion, but is not perfect interpretation. We have different point of views. No person could describe this material universe accurately, Śukadeva Gosvāmī said, not even in one Brahma's lifetime. It means that even in all that time that for our point of view as human being from Kali Yuga that with good luck will live about 100 years, earthly 100 years, no 100 years of Brahma, Deva years, no, we live earthly years that are very short. It's like the lifespan of a fly, a mosquito lifespan. It's very, very small. Even with the Brahma lifespan, we cannot describe perfectly the material world. Even on top of this, he say, no one in the material world is perfect, and an imperfect person could not describe this material universe accurately. And he himself, I will try, I should nevertheless try to explain to you the principal regions. I will try, not even Śukadeva Gosvāmī will say, I will tell you the 100%, 108% true of how material world is and how the planet is, planet Earth. Not even he say that. He said very clear and sincere, I will try to explain. I will explain this as far as is possible on a material base. So, taking this in consideration, we must to obviously understand the point of view of Bhaktivedanta Swami. I think, honestly, that Bhaktivedanta Swami, he tried to explain out of his possibilities what really the universe is. And I think by now, everybody understands that it's it's very different than what science, actual demoniac science is explaining.
Don't sleep. Get up, rascal, get up.
Because they are following sadly an agenda. They need money. The scientists need money, and many of them are very well paid. Very well paid. We are not speaking about like a doctor in university or a doctor in a hospital or clinic. No, they are very well paid. We're speaking about $100,000 a month or more for some of the scientists. So in somehow, if somebody for much science that have been studying and investigating, if he's not in total control of his mind and desire, means if he's not a true yogi, a sadhaka, then his desire will cover his own or her own moral values. And this happens on the surface of everything. Even sadhakas of Kali Yuga, brahmanas on Kali Yuga, they don't pay any attention and tribute to the morality. So what to say about people who has no idea about anything and just money is the only God? We cannot trust blind on such a people. If we cannot trust blind to even gurus of this era, we must investigate them properly to understand who they are, really. And normally we will find so much dirt. What to speak about people who has no education at all, spiritual education, morality, loyalty to the truth? We cannot expect anything. So, taking in consideration Srimad Bhagavatam 5.16.4, by the way, the canto number 5 is dealing with the topic of the universe. There is confusion between the egg shape and the flat earth. These are two different things that we must to understand, but I will do my best out of my possibilities to explain this and take in consideration that I am not an intelligent person, so try to understand what I am saying. The egg shape of the planet or the egg shape that is described in Puranas is speaking about the universe, not exactly about Earth. But here we have something interesting. Let me stop the video just right here. So the egg shape exists, yes, but this is the full creation. It's the egg of Brahma. It's the creation of Brahma, where inside the egg exist 14 different layers, platforms, discs. The Vedas describe this as discs or mandal. Mandala is a circle. It's not a sphere or football ball. No, it's a circle. This is a mandala. Alright, and we saw that in our previous video where I put the definition of bhū-maṇḍala. So there exists 14 divisions, and these 14 divisions, we can see them here. You see, this is some kind of egg shape, and if you see, this also looks very similar to the Shiva Lingam, because everything in the universe is fractal. So you can see here in the center of the screen how are different stages, right? Every stage has his own deity. You can see just in the middle, on top of every line, and there are some deities, yeah? On the top of Brahma, yes, it's Brahma-loka, the planet of Brahma, under, okay. This egg shape, we are seeing here a graphic representing the egg shape or the golden embryo of the word, Hiranya Garva. This egg shape also is there, but the egg shape first is not a sphere, a perfect sphere, is an egg, and this egg is the full universe. And this egg is divided in 14 layers, these 14 stages. One of them is our mandal, our disc, where we are living actually. It's explained that this disc or mandal where we live actually is called Jambu Dvipa. Dvipa means literally in English something similar to Iceland or Iceland. You can see Navadvipa, and this is Jambu Dvipa, alright? And this island or this mandala, this disc, is one of the platforms of the 14 platforms that are inside the egg. And in the middle, we can see Mount Meru. Mount Meru is there, just in the middle. It reads Meru. It's an old book, and the graphics, yes, are not very sharp anymore, but you can see. This mandala is explained as a lotus flower. It has the shape of a lotus flower. So every of the leaves of the flower has a name. For example, just down you read Bharata. This is the land of Bharat, what we know as India. There are different areas, territories where different species of humans live. Is the word lotus flower. This is where we live based on the Shastra. Jambudvipa. This is Jambudvipa. So when we see this is a aerial view, to say, of the disc, the mandal where we live. And those 14 stages are shown also on a different understanding on the same that also is correct. This is correct as well, because as we see in Bhagavatam, Śukadeva is saying clearly that nobody can describe it properly. So different understanding are correct. There is no right and wrong, but the different understanding on this topic are correct. So this egg shape also is represented as a yogi. Some sadhakas and people understand the 14 stages as different states of consciousness that the yogi is developing. We can see here. Let's check the video in the background. So there is going, you see, bhū-maṇḍala. Bhū-maṇḍala will be our platform. Then we have bhū-varloka, swargaloka, mahārāja, jnana-loka, tapoloka, and satyaloka. And if you see here, we have also every state of consciousness is related to one of the main chakras in the body. Wow. Through the spine going up, we have 7 chakras, but the body has 108 chakras, center point of energy, or points of energy, or consciousness in this case is more accurate description. So there we have in bhū-maṇḍala, the earth, we have a Muladhara chakra. And if we compare Muladhara chakra and the energy of earth, it's exactly that. Then we are going upper in our states of consciousness, and we see Swadhisthana chakra as bhūva-loka, and then Manipura Swargaloka, and Anahata as Mahārāja, and Vishuddha as Jnana-loka, Agna or Agya as Tapaloka, and Sahasrar as Satyaloka. This is the supreme stage. And interesting, because they say is the lotus flower of Brahmdev, this Satyaloka, or the supreme abode, and exactly in the crown of the head of the yogi there is a lotus flower. So it makes sense. It connect with the Vedic cosmology as well. But let's not forget one interesting detail that what makes me think that this is also extremely accurate. It's very good. Is that the universe is a fractal thing. Everything in the universe is fractal. See, Radha and Krishna, they have beautiful bodies, human bodies with human form. Radha and Krishna are the origin of the origin. All the devatas are coming from them. And because it's a fractal, an original point who is manifesting himself infinite times, then you have the devatas, then you have the humans. Everybody has a human form, but is different in quality and potency. The original form is the Sarva Shakti, is the supreme power, the supreme energy. If the principle of the life in the material creation is the egg shape, now we understand that the mandala where we live is not exactly the same as the egg that is described on the texts. The egg is the full universe. And the mandala where we live is one of the stages inside that egg. Now, if the principle of life is that egg shape where everything is inside, it makes a lot of sense. You know why? Because our own body, our own life starts from there, inside an egg. Our mother get the life inside that egg, and that egg turn into a human being like you and me. It's a fractal phenomenon. Now, if you see, the atoms also have similar form. So on that way, it makes a lot of sense. Here we have in the graphic, my background, vertical measure of 14 words, the egg of the universe. It reads The transformation of the creative energies evolve into an image of the world as an egg, anda. Purusha enters into this egg as to become Visvarupa. And if we see the sperm and the ovule, is the word in English, ovule? Ovulo. When they came together, then the life manifests, and we are seeing exactly the same here for the universe. This makes a lot of sense. Purusha enters into this egg so as to become Visvarupa and contain the 14 words. The universe may also be divided into 3 spheres, bhū, bhuva, and swaha. And we see one of the oldest mantras is the Gayatri mantra, who start with Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. But also there are other mantras that are not exactly the Brahma Gayatri that also chant Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. So we have here the understanding that the egg of the universe is not the place where we are living, but where we are living is explained as one of the platforms inside this egg, Hiranyagarbha. Here is the explanation of the 14 different stages that we can see. Just there in the middle, what we see, this circle in the bottom is the mandal where we are. There is Meru, the Mount Meru that is upside down kind of, and through the spine of the Mount Meru, let's say through the Mount Meru up are all the stages. So it's very similar to what? It's very similar to the idea of this yogi. If we see the bhū-maṇḍala that reads there in the bottom, the Muladhara chakra, the spine is going up until Satyaloka, and then we see the universe indeed, and the universe and this X shape has exactly the same. Mount Meru is corresponding to the spine of the yogi, and the different stages are the different chakras or states of consciousness. Due to this, many people who study the texts, teachers of Sanskrit and Vedic philosophy, they say that actually those stages are not real stages as platforms where people live, but they say that some people say that these stages are stages of consciousness, is an explanation of the different stages of consciousness, but is not literal meaning that they are stages like mandals as I am explaining. Well, also is valid because we get back to Srimad Bhagavatam and nobody can explain the universe properly. But it's very valid and interesting point of view. So we have here this egg shape, different stages. The Mount Meru is in the middle. This is connected to the spine of the yogi. Here we have again another graphic and definition of the same. They are the different gods who are there, the different devatas. These are all the different states of consciousness until you get to the Sri Narayan, to the supreme consciousness. Or there are stages, and the stages are going up until you get to the supreme God. Here is a different graphic what we are seeing, and this graphic represents a Buddhist graphic of the universe. By the way, in Buddhist philosophy and Jainism, they see the universe on the same way. This is a platform, and in the middle of the platform we have Mount Meru by Buddhist understanding, and they are the 4 corners you see are the 4 directions of the universe. They understand this: east, west, north, south, all this in the universe. And the graphic explains exactly the same. It's this platform where we live, and there is Mount Meru in the middle. Here, this is the Surya's chariot. Surya's chariot, so the sun is illuminating this mandal where we live and is in top of us, spinning around us. He's moving. That's why in Vedas, the Purans describes the sun God in top of a chariot, and this chariot is moving on top of us. Otherwise he will be just in a throne if he's not moving, or just standing or sitting down. But no, he's in a chariot, explaining clearly that he's moving. Otherwise, why he's in a chariot if he's not moving? The world as an illusion. This is extremely important. We cannot understand the world properly because the world is a projection of Mahamaya, and whoever our intelligence is not powerful enough to understand this universe properly. So everything that anybody can say is just a point of view. Yes, nobody can explain the things 100% The only way will be that me, myself, I go to a spaceship, but not the ship spacecraft of NASA or Nazis or whatever around the planet, but to go in a proper vimana around outside the planet, this planet, and I will tell you exactly what is it. But since I don't have that possibility, then I must be very scientific, and since I don't have proof of anything properly, then I cannot say anything like bottom line, like the final point of this topic. It's not possible. Srimad Bhagavatam just say that we cannot understand this. Even Śukadeva Gosvāmī said, I will try my best. They explain in the texts that the closer you go to Meru, the hottest the weather is. And they say that Bharat, means India, is very close to Mount Meru. That's why the temperatures in India are extremely high and hot. We have to forget, in order to at least to understand a little bit this, we have to forget our preconception of how we understand and how we imagine the world. We must open like a child, like from blank, like without any preconception, to try to understand, to get the idea. So the model of the world is totally different for the Vedas.